everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right. Today's topic is the many signs of a DL man, and we have it in sort of a testimonial. So it's let's dig right into this letter and see what she's saying. I know for a fact that a lot of signs of down low men that ladies are sharing aren't the only signs. Okay. I fear there are more than we know, I'm sure. Because these people are demonic. They got all kind of things that they can do. I suspect some ladies that know that their men are down low, gay, they are just too embarrassed or ashamed to admit it or share in the conversations. Yeah, well, if you're deciding to stay with a man that you know is out sleeping with other men, yeah, you won't want your friends to know that. And then especially if you are religious, you definitely don't want people to know that, but he's probably sleeping with the choir director anyway, if not the pastor. So, yeah. I would tell you my story, how I know there can be many different signs. I know my ex-husband is. That's why he is now my ex-husband. We met by a mutual friend. Don't be fooled by the man that claims to serve God. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. It's sickening and wicked when they do that. That's the trick that traps many ladies. He seemed to be very charming, protective, and genuinely caring in the beginning. He told me I was going to be his wife, not even 1 month into knowing me. That's an art. I was so smitten by his appearance of being a godly man. I didn't see it as a red flag. I was a 36-year-old beautiful woman with no children and not working at the time we met because I was under my doctor's care. We married in less than a year. It was so non-romantic. He just bought me a ring, a very expensive one too. The entire set was well over $45,000. As I look back on it, it was like a business transaction. That's exactly that's what marriage is. It's all about a business transaction. I say that because I thought he was so different from most men. Because whether they serve God or not, they always want sex. Yeah. That's in a man's nature. And it's in his nature to keep the generations going, to have children. That's why the man has that urge, because he's the one to go out to find these women to have his babies. Okay? He was different. He said he wasn't interested in me for sex and that he wanted me for me and that he wanted to take care of me. He told me his dream was saving his money, that when he met the right woman, he would be well capable of providing for his wife, as it states in the Bible. You see, he had you hook, line, and sinker talking about God in the Bible. He never really dated me. He just said all these smooth words that sound good. He turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, because before we got married, he began to show signs of split personality traits. Yeah, because that mask was slipping off. When narcissists meet you, it's their representative. They're wearing a disguise, a mask. And, his mask was slipping off. He was tired of pretending to be something that he wasn't. 1 minute he is nice, and the next minute, for no reason at all, he started picking little arguments with me, accusing me of doing things that I wasn't doing to make him angry. Typical narcissistic behavior. He would talk about women as if he hated them. He also has a friend that he works with that I know they are lovers, because he would get out of bed with me just to call this man. No man does that. When they talk on the phone, they would make jokes about each other's private parts. The friend would say things about jerking off. And he also texts my husband a sexual pet name. I told my husband that his friend is gay. He disagreed. Number one, he doesn't want you to know it. And number two, believe it or not, these down low men don't consider themselves as being gay. That's delusional by definition. I just started paying close attention to their relationship. He first would always say smart and sarcastic things to me that wasn't so obvious. Yeah, he's trying to throw you off the path. My ex-husband can't seem to cut his relationship with this man when I showed him proof that his friend is gay. He isn't married. He's never been married and has very negative opinions about women. My ex-husband could never satisfy me sexually. It always felt awkward. He would require for me to rub him in an unusual way in order for him to become aroused. Yeah, because he needed you to mimic what his boyfriend was doing. You understand? So while you were doing whatever it is, usually they like oral, but I guess he wanted you to jerk him off. But the thing about it is, when you were with him, he's imagining that he's with this man friend. Okay? So it's not about you at all. You're just mechanical. And these men don't show you any affection or love or tenderness or anything. It's all just pure. When it's sex, it's just pure sex. That's it. He was always complaining worse than a woman about the most stupid things. He would lie with a straight face. He would get irritated every time I would look at anything having to do with signs your man could be on the DL. He would get very angry. Yeah, because, that's the worst thing for a DL man, to be exposed. They don't want to be exposed. No way. A straight man wouldn't have behaved that way. You're right. I was at a family gathering and the topic came up, and he and another DL family member showed obvious signs of discomfort and never made any remarks at all. My husband left the room, and the known DL family member did too. My ex would compare my looks to his looks. He would play manipulative mind games, trying to make me feel and think I'm crazy. Well, that's their defense mechanism, as long as they can keep it up. It was so many red flags. The fact that he just had to always see this one particular friend all the time. And he has another friend that is married with a white girl, and he couldn't seem to go too long without seeing him either. He would leave me and go hang out with him. Yeah, because that's where his attention is anyway. He's with you just for cover, so that people will think that he's a heterosexual. That's it. Okay? And that's the transaction. He gave you the big ring and maybe put you in a nice place or whatever. It's a business transaction. You just cover. That's it. That's all you're getting. Okay? When I was married to him, we never went more than a few days without it being just me and him. Ever since he got his friend, he would always make an excuse and leave the house to go to the store or to go hang out with his friend. He was always drunk every chance he got. He would drink to the point he didn't remember anything the next day. Yeah, because he wants to go out and do the dirty deed, but he doesn't want to think about it. He wants to act like, that he forgot. But remember, people, there are evil demonic spirits in alcohol. So when he drinks alcohol, it just amps up that a negative energy that's already in him. And then he's possessed by these demons. And they don't care what happens, it's sexually or whatever. Any kind of depravity is on the menu when you're being controlled by a demon. The sex was very different. He asked me to suck his John, but I wasn't going to do anything like that. I told him, that's degrading to me. He didn't push the issue. Yeah, because see, I told you that's what they like. They want you to give them a blowjob. When it's a woman, when they are on the DL, because that's what they get from their boyfriends. He'll ask you for that before he has to go in the back door. Okay, if he can get you primed up to do that, well then, the next thing he asks for the back door. But that does not mean that he's going to leave his male friends. That just means that he'll include you in the mix. I let him know from the beginning that the back is an exit, not an entrance. So he knew not to ask me. Really? The sex was very different. There really wasn't any intimacy. I know. It was just going through the motions. One day he told me that I made him miserable. Should have packed up then, way before then. That's when I knew something was wrong with him. All I ever did was cater to him. All the arguments we had, he would start just to have a reason to say nasty things to me and about Black women. It is clear to me that he really didn't like women. When he would be in bed, he would never hold me unless I asked him to. We had taken pictures together, and I noticed that he would never hold me in the pictures. His arm would be around me, but his hand would always be closed. But pictures with his male friend, he would have his arm around their necks with a big smile. Yeah, I know the thing about pictures because when I was with the narcissist, and after he discarded me, I began to look at the pictures. And with his family, he was all big smiles and all of that. With me, he barely even looked at the camera. He would look away. He would look frustrated. You understand? So, yeah. But that's something that you realize in hindsight. And I'm glad that you're bringing it up now because you ladies who may suspect that you're with DL men, what she's written in this letter will truly help you to be aware of the signs. Okay? Let's go on. The day we got married, he snapped on me and we didn't even have sex. He said he made a mistake. He knew he shouldn't have married me. He was drunk. The day before he apologized and never forgot it. I said and just chucked it up to new marriage jitters. Yeah, because you just wanted to be married. Several months later, he met my parents because he was a long-distance driver. We would go all over the country driving solar equipment. His special friend worked for the same company too. My ex-husband asked me if I wanted to go spend time with my parents since he had a day before delivery and delivering the equipment to their hometown. He said that would be nice because they really hadn't spent any time getting to know him. When they came to pick us up from the truck park, he informed me he wouldn't be going because he was tired and wanted to get some rest for the upcoming delivery. Yeah, he set you up on that. He wanted you out of the way. He was very upset. He told me to go and have a good time. He gave me a time to be back by. I went with my parents, but I wasn't feeling good in my mind. Something was off. I decided to have my parents drop me off 3 hours earlier than the time he had given me to be back. My suspicions came full circle. It was true. I caught him getting out of his friend's truck. The friend's truck was parked on the opposite side from where we were parked. I had no idea he was even in the same state. Me and my parents sat waiting. I knocked on the truck window, called his phone, and I told him I was knocking on the window. He said he was in the bathroom inside the truck location. He said he was coming. My eyes were fixed on the truck that I suspected he and his best friend were in. I saw him zipping up his pants as he was getting out, and his friend watched him walking away. That day, it was over. Oh, so that's how you called him? Wow. Wow. But ladies, I hope you don't wait this long to catch yours. If your intuition tells you that he's on the DL, then he is on the DL. Okay, let's finish up with this letter. Once I saw that, I left with my parents, blocked his calls, left everything behind, and never looked back. I didn't divorce him legally, but we are divorced. And unfortunately, after that traumatic, deceptive experience, I don't trust any black man. Being with a white man isn't an option for me. I'm happy. I now focus all of my attention on my beautiful family, and I'm once again fulfilled. You don't have to be married to be happy and complete. I am now 46 years old and strong enough to tell my story to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that your story will prove to be a tremendous blessing to other women who suspect that their man is on the DL. There's no happiness for you in it, because when you think about it, he's only with you as a cover, but you're also his hand servant, his maid, his free labor. You're still taking care of him like you have been trained to do as a wife, which means he is just using you. He's never going to please you intimately or sexually. It's never going to happen. But he will drain out all of your energy. And if you have any resources, he will drain all of that. And he will leave you for dead when it's all gone. I hope you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, I'm back with affirmation and morning meditations and exercise. So check me out over there. The link is in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.